Welcome back to Revive Life and our show on MS. One of the best approaches to any health condition is shifting your nutrition to gain the most phytochemicals that offer antioxidants, help to alkalize the body, reducing inflammation, and offering a whole host of digestive enzymes to aid you getting all that good stuff. One of the leading researchers in MS and nutrition is Dr. Roy Swank. The main principles of the MS diet by Dr. Swank is that food, also illness, stress, fatigue, activates the immune cells that start the cascade of events that lead to symptoms. Food doesn't cause the disease as such, but fuels the disease process after it manifests. This can be stopped by not eating those foods which activate the immune system, and, as important, by eating foods that help the body repair, restore, and recover. The first step to eating a balanced diet and stop eating the trigger foods that activate the disease process. Reduce intake of saturated fats, keeping them less than 15 grams per day, and sugar in great quantities. Have at least 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day from every color of the rainbow. There are 5 food groups to which people with MS are found to be most often sensitive. These include the gluten-containing grains, wheat, dairy, eggs, legumes, and yeast. Each person has a unique food sensitivity profile, which can include foods not among the usual suspects. So it's recommended to see your naturopathic doctor to test for your food sensitivities. It is also recommended to maintain a healthy weight. Many people with MS are athletes because they know optimal weight helps energy and can reduce the strain on the muscles, joints, thereby reducing the effects of pain and increasing energy. This allows you to maintain your ability. If you want to lose weight, take it one step at a time so that it's not an overwhelming task. Add just a little more exercise every day, or improve the nutrition of just one meal or snack at first. Our next guest can help you with all of those areas. She's a registered holistic nutritionist and a member of the Natural Nutrition Alumni Association. Through her own journey with a life-threatening disease to thriving a healthy, active lifestyle and her love of whole foods that stretches back 20 years, she's been educating people on how to find their path to the road to health and balance. Being in the kitchen continually inspires her to create simple and nutritious everyday meals that the whole family will enjoy. She's a Revive Life cooking instructor and teaches the cooking of the Eating Right program at the Cancer Center, the Maple Soft Center here in Ottawa, and has written articles for the Network News on healthy living for Canadians affected by breast cancer. Welcome, Wendy Langdon.
Thank you.
We have had lots of fun working together.
Yes, we have.
We love to cook. And so today's show is about teaching people to work with potentially foods that they may not really know very much about. What are the foods that we're going to work with today?
Well, our main ingredient is gailan, which is a Chinese green, which is also known by the name Chinese kale. And it is pretty much in the broccoli family. It is very similar to broccoli. And you can use all the stem and everything of the gailan.
And that's what it looks like. So it comes, quite often you'll find it at a lot of the grocery stores, and you might actually find it in a prepackaged bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can find it at most superstores, at Loblaws.
I think most people just walk by it. They just don't know what to do with it.
Exactly, exactly.
It's too foreign to them. And,
but if you think of broccoli, this is the same thing.
Okay, so that's a good way to think about it. Wherever you normally use broccoli, use gailan. Exactly. Nutritionally, why would we want to eat it?
Well, it has, the greens obviously are a lot of antioxidants in it. There's iron and vitamin C, so it's got a lot of good nutrients for everyday living.
Awesome. What are we going to make with it? What's our first dish?
This dish that I'm making is a very simple dish that you can whip up pretty quick. And
Wendy actually brought it to the office and gave it to all of us girls, and we're like, oh my God, we need to get that recipe.
I'm just one of those people that I take whatever's in the kitchen and I create something. So beautiful. What I've done is I've taken the gailan and I have diced it up. So we've cleaned it and diced it up, and I'm just going to throw it in the bowl.
And cleaning it is just rinsing it and patting it dry?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then I'm shredding up some red cabbage to add to it for some color. I love I love incorporating different colors into my salads. It just makes it that much more enticing.
Gives you all those phytonutrients.
Yes, and we're definitely looking at raw foods here, which I encourage.
So anything that has that purpley blue color would have the anthocyanidin family of the antioxidants.
And then we have some julienne carrots to add. Again, we've got some vibrant lighting going on here with the color.
Yeah, it just looks great already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we're going to take the stalk, the stem of the gaylan, and what I've done is I have pre-blanched it in hot water for like a minute, just to soften up just a little bit, to take away a little bit of the bitter taste, and then I've just diced it up. So we're using all the whole leaf.
That must be the secret too with broccoli, with the stem or anything that has a stalk. If you steam it slightly, will it remove some of the bitterness?
Yes. Yeah. And for some people, they prefer softer vegetables when they're incorporating them into something like this. Then we're going to add a little bit of sweetener to it. I like to kind of go in a different direction sometimes. Most people think of a salad as just your typical lettuce, tomato, cucumber, that kind of thing. But I always like to throw a twist in there. So
Twisty Wendy.
Yeah. So I'm adding some oranges to it to give it a little bit of a tangy flavor, and then we're going to a little more sweetness with some cranberries, which I've chopped up.
And this is great. I like what I'm hearing, that you're adding sweetness. You know, when people say that, people typically think, okay, here comes the bag of sugar, right? Yeah. But you're adding sweetness with fruit.
And for kids, you know, adding a little bit of sweetness, it just entices them. I mean, kids are all about sugar, but if you can give them something more whole and more nutritious, like dried cranberries. These cranberries are actually sweetened with apple juice. So organic, and you know, just enough for the kids that they really do like it.
Because in a whole salad, you've used probably about, what, 1/4 of a cup?
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And then we're going to add some pumpkin seeds. And what I like to do with these pumpkin seeds is actually roast them a little bit in a frying pan on the stove. They just bring out a bit of a roast taste to them. It gives a whole different flavor.
Just amplifies the taste.
Yes. Yeah. So again, I'm just throwing in all kinds of little flavors in there that every bite has got a different flavor to it. And we're just going to add that.
Beautiful.
And then we've got here is walnut oil mixed in with a little bit of agave. So just about a teaspoon of agave, just to add a little more tang and sweetness to it all together, because mixing in with the nuts and the gaylan will just take the edge of that bitterness off the greens. And then we're just going to basically put a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt.
So we encourage people to use gaylan and to experiment, but if people just don't have it in the house tonight and they want to make this salad, it's easy to just use another green, yes?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, look at how beautiful
and this
that
is
looks.
Just, you know, it's just gorgeous.
Okay, so you've bought all that gaylan, so you have that sitting in your fridge. What are a couple of other options of how we can use it?
Well, I've also, over here to my left, I have made a sautéed gaylan. So basically I've taken the gaylan leaves and the stalk and cleaned them, and then I've put in, what I've done is I've taken ginger and garlic in a little bit of olive oil, and I've sautéed that, and then I've thrown in some sweet snow peas and some gaylan, and then a little bit of apple, and just quickly sautéed in the pan, and then this is what you get. And then what I did for a complete meal is I added some millet, which are these little grains. They look like quinoa, but they're a little bit more yellow. And so when you add this, which is a protein, to this dish, you have a full meal.
I like that. It's really simple, and millet also has the advantage of being gluten-free. So if anybody needs to eat gluten-free, that's another great bonus.
Yeah.
And of course, this dish would also be loaded with calcium coming from all of our greens as well as our millet.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Beautiful.
And then over here, I have taken the gaylan again, and I have created a smoothie. So what we have here is, in this smoothie is the Gaylan and some strawberries and some papaya and some almond milk and a little bit of chia seeds and flaxseed.
Sounds wonderful for your health.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say to those people that look at a green drink and they kind of back away? I don't do health.
Well,
how can we get them to try it?
Sometimes you just have to add a little more sweetener to it. So greens are not necessarily, you don't taste them in a smoothie. What you really are tasting are the fruits, because they're more dominant in flavor, and especially if they're more organic, and the greens are just kind of for color. If you think of it that way, then you shouldn't have any problem drinking it.
This is fabulous. These recipes anyone could make. They only take minutes.
Yes.
That's what we love about you, Wendy. You know, you make really fabulous recipes. They're easy to make. And Wendy, again, she's a great communicator. And thank you. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
All right. So you can find Wendy, our lead nutritionist, at the Revivelife Center, 829-7100. And coming up next, we're going to learn a little bit more about MS. So don't go. Did you know that MS affects between 2 and 150 per 100,000 people? Welcome back to Revive Life and our show on MS. A few more tips for you are: limit your intake of alcohol. Drinking alcohol may make symptoms of MS more noticeable. It may interfere with your medications, and if you smoke, try and quit. Non-smokers are healthier than smokers and have a lower risk of many types of diseases. Some research also suggests that smoking may also speed up the progression of MS, making it harder to achieve the goal of delaying the disability in MS. And of course, reduce stress. Learn to relax. Stress doesn't make anyone feel good with or without MS. Some people say their MS symptoms get worse when they're under dramatic stress. So instead of keeping your emotions bottled up, talk about them with family or friends or with a therapist. You can also manage stress by deep breathing, making sure you're breathing from the belly, taking up simple yoga, simplifying your life, whatever works for you. Our next guest we're very pleased to have here, Trish Rooney, who has gone through the process of having MS. Welcome, and we're really, really pleased to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So Trish, help us understand your journey of MS. What exactly happened, and kind of help us understand through your eyes.
It started in 1997, so I would have made me 33.
You were very young.
Yes, I was very young. And I started with remitting relapsing MS, which is the majority of people, that's what we're diagnosed with. Some of us do progress onto secondary progressive, which is the stage that I'm at now. Okay. But I've gone for a long time with my disease. I've gone through the journey of the diagnosis process, which is very difficult because you're constantly under stress, wondering what's going wrong in your own body, not having any understanding of it. And that takes a couple of years in the medical practice before they diagnose it. And I was very active. I worked full time. I played sports. Once diagnosed,